In a move aimed at restoring normalcy amid ongoing protests, Bolivian President Rodrigo Pacheco has declared a state of emergency across the country. The declaration comes after weeks of unrest led by miners, farmers, and indigenous groups demanding his resignation. This crisis began in late April, when the president cut long-standing fuel subsidies, leading to widespread discontent. The conflict initially erupted due to a land reform proposed by Mr. Pacheco, which critics argued would make it easier for large landowners to acquire small properties. The president has since withdrawn this proposal. Despite these efforts, farmers have continued to join other groups voicing grievances over cuts to fuel subsidies and proposed changes to Bolivia's constitution. Protesters are calling for reinstatement of fuel subsidies, rollback of austerity measures, and Mr. Pacheco's resignation. They argue that the government is not addressing their core concerns effectively. The president has accused Evo-Morales, his left-wing predecessor who was ousted from power in 2019, of orchestrating the protests, a claim denied by Morales. The crisis escalated when protesters cut key roads, stranding trucks and choking supplies of food, fuel, and medicines to many areas. Journalists reported seeing police and military personnel in main squares on Saturday as they enforced curfews and maintained order. The blockades have caused serious shortages of basic goods and paralyzed large parts of the nation. President Pacheco announced his emergency order in a live televised message on Saturday, emphasizing that the measure aims to free the country's roads and restore normalcy. Under the state of emergency, he has been granted broader constitutional powers to clear blockades by demonstrators. This move would allow military and police forces to intervene if necessary. The declaration comes after an agreement was struck between the government and the Bolivian Workers' Confederation (COB), the country's main union. However, some indigenous groups have vowed to continue protesting, maintaining roadblocks in place. Journalists reported seeing police and military personnel in key squares on Saturday as they enforced curfews and maintained order. Under law, Congress must approve or reject the state of emergency within 72 hours of its declaration. The blockades are part of a larger protest movement that has seen several deaths and hundreds arrested. Protesters argue that these measures have been orchestrated to destabilize democracy after weeks of violence and blockades. President Pacheco emphasized in his televised message that the crisis had evolved into an organized attempt to destabilize democracy, warning that those continuing disruptions would face legal consequences. He said the state of emergency aims to restore order, protect citizens, and ensure the flow of essential goods. The declaration represents a last-ditch effort by Mr. Pacheco to quell the unrest and restore normalcy to the country's roads and supply chains. As protesters continue their demands, including those related to fuel subsidies and changes to Bolivia's constitution, the government faces significant challenges in addressing these grievances while maintaining stability. The state of emergency declaration is a critical step towards restoring order, but may not be enough to end the unrest entirely.